the earth. Fittingly described by its creator as a sphere and hanging upon nothing. Among all the planets in the solar system, the earth is perfectly suited for life, and filled with life it is. And then there is the crown of earthly creation, man. In spite of our small beginnings, mankind is not merely a higher form of animal life, but we are uniquely designed with the capacity to not only comprehend God, but to reflect His very personality, because we are made in His image. And our loving Heavenly Father has informed us that it is His will that people should live forever in earthly delight. But everlasting life in paradise seems like an impossible dream, and life for so many is anything but a delight. If God created the world of mankind, why doesn't He rule as king over His creation? Is the world destined to go on suffering one catastrophe after another, as empires and tyrants come and go? God provided the answer to those questions in an inspired dream, a dream recorded in the 7th chapter of Daniel. Daniel wrote, "I happened to be beholding in my visions during the night, and see there, the 4 winds of the heavens were stirring up the vast sea, and 4 huge beasts were coming up out of the sea. The first one was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. And I kept on beholding until its wings were plucked out. And see there, another beast, a second one, it being like a bear. And this is what they were saying to it: 'Get up, eat much flesh.' After this, I kept on beholding, and see there, another beast, one like a leopard, but it had 4 wings of a flying creature on its back. And the beast had 4 heads. After this I kept on beholding in the visions of the night, and see there a 4th beast, fearsome and terrible and unusually strong. And it had teeth of iron, big ones, and it had 10 horns. And I kept on considering the horns, and look, another horn, a small one, came up in among them. And there were 3 of the first horns that were plucked up from before it. And look, there were eyes like the eyes of a man in this horn. And there was a mouth speaking grandiose things. And I kept on beholding until there were thrones placed, and the Ancient of Days sat down. His throne was flames of fire. The court took its seat, and there were books that were opened. And I kept on beholding in the visions of the night, and see there with the clouds of the heavens, someone like a son of man happened to be coming, and to the Ancient of Days he gained access, and they brought him up close even before that one. And to him there were given rulership and dignity and kingdom, that the peoples, national groups, and languages should all serve even him. His rulership is an indefinitely lasting rulership that will not pass away, and his kingdom, one that will not be brought to ruin. It was also revealed to Daniel that the holy ones will receive a kingdom along with the Son of Man. Jesus spoke of the conclusion of a system, which he likened to a harvest, when the holy ones will shine as brightly as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. But over the centuries, God's people are harassed by a succession of beast-like empires, the first of which was Babylon, symbolized in Daniel's dream as a lion with wings. Interestingly, winged lions were a prominent icon in ancient Babylon. The bear in Daniel's vision symbolized the Medo-Persian Empire of Cyrus and Darius and Ahasuerus. The leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads symbolized Greece, which, after the death of Alexander the Great, the kingdom was divided among his 4 generals. Next, the Roman Empire, symbolized by the unusually ferocious beast with iron teeth. Ironically, thousands of Christians were martyred by literal beasts in the Colosseum. But gradually the Roman Empire faded into history. In its place was the Roman Catholic Empire, which ruled Western Europe for over 1,000 years by means of the feudal system. But then in 1534, King Henry broke ties with the Vatican and established the Church of England with himself as its head. This paved the way for the emergence of the British Empire in the latter part of the 18th century. The British Empire was the largest empire that has ever existed. Her territories were so vast that it was said that the sun never set upon the British Empire. And to this day, London still exerts considerable control over the nations through political and financial power. Allied with the United States in what is termed a special relationship, the Anglo-American kingdom has dominated the world for the past 2 centuries and now stands as the sole superpower. Together, they are the dominant horns of the unusually fierce wild beast. But the sun is setting on the Anglo-American kingdom. What does the future hold? What is the meaning of the 3 horns of the beast that are plucked up? The Watchtower teaches that through a series of naval battles against Spain, France, and the Netherlands, fought over a period spanning a century and a half, Great Britain gradually emerged in the 19th century as the Little Horn. And the Society teaches that the kingdom was given to the Holy Ones during the First World War. Supposedly, that is when they were dashed to pieces by the beast. But the reality is that the nations of the modern world are speeding on a collision course with God's kingdom. The modern intertwined global financial system, engineered by the demons and the lords of London, is rigged to disintegrate at the coming of Christ, taking down with it not only the dollar-based economic system, but entire nations. The 3 horns that are destined to be plucked up by the Little Horn are the United States, Great Britain, and one of their strongest allies from the Roman system, possibly France. The Anglo-American beast is about to be thrown into its death throes and be burned in the fire, as Daniel envisioned. In its place will emerge the Little Horn, a short-lived, non-democratic, totalitarian world government, likely in the form of the United Nations, which Christ will then destroy. In the aftermath of the destruction of the present world system of things, a new day will dawn. Jesus Christ will then be Earth's sole ruler, and the law of love will be the governing principle in the new world. No more will beastly predators prey upon the children of God. When Jesus was upon the earth, he performed many miracles. He healed the sick and opened the eyes of the blind and the ears of the deaf, and even raised the dead. He did so as a demonstration of what he will do for all of the children of God in the new world. Just beyond the pall of this world's demise lies the new world of God's promise. A world of unimaginable peace and beauty, filled with the songs and laughter of children. A world of limitless possibilities. So until that day dawns, let us continue to pray, let your kingdom come.